So I have to be honest with you. When I first got the news that they were going to be adding back the 70 billion CRO, or even just discussing it, I was like, there's no way that investors are going to want that to happen. Obviously, they found a way to get that passed. But when I found out then that it would be passed and we would see 70 billion that's added back to the overall supply, didn't feel good at all. It's like when a company does a reverse stock split and how you know it's going to be inherently negative, but you also know that it's going to help the business. And I think that's where, we're just like, do we still support CRO? Do we still believe in CRO? Because they went against investors' will, right? Where a lot of us didn't want that to happen. Don't know how it physically got passed. Didn't go into that detail or dive into the specifics of that. But the point is that it did, and investors weren't happy with it. But does that take our investor gains out of play? Are we going to see no success because of it? And I would say no, right? I think we are going to see a ton of success. I think we are going to see it get back to higher levels and way higher levels than what anyone or a lot of people expected. It's just now you have to worry about the dilution of the overall position. When a company does a reverse stock split, yes, it's very negative for me as an investor, but it's also very positive for the business. So just like what Kronos is doing and adding more supply to it, or in a more comparable sense, it would be issuing more stock, right? If a company goes and does that, it's for the success of the business. Yes, it is diluting the current holders, but it is for the success of the overall business. Without the business, there is no stock, right? Without this business, there is no support for CRO in a large way in the use there. So obviously, you want to see the success there. So that's why I look at it and I'm like, if they're doing something with all of that, then absolutely it makes sense to do what they're doing. So what we're going to do in this video is talk about still that potential, right? Can it still get to $3 per coin like I expected it to, as we see this altcoin season potentially happen, right? I'm saying potentially because it hasn't happened yet, and we've seen only really Bitcoin that has moved. So in this video, we're going to talk about that. But before we get started, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I have links down below for different exchanges and all that stuff, and Patreon and Twitter. But if you want to check out my link for BTCC, it honestly is a very good platform that I've been able to utilize for about 10 months now. You can get a 10% deposit bonus, extra bonuses up to $10,055, 40% lower trading fees, and you can trade all the way up to a 500x leverage. So again, feel free to check out that link. It is a solid platform that I've just fallen in love with and being able to utilize in the chart, in the reporting there, in the analysis that I can build using TradeView. So feel free to check it out. Link is at the top of the description. But CRO currently stands at a 10-cent price. Not a horrible price. Obviously, I need it to get up to 12, 13, 20, 50, $1 level in order to start taking profit at times. But we're sitting at a $3 billion market cap, which is not a bad place to be. We haven't seen altcoin season thrive yet. If we've seen altcoin season push and Kronos was still at these levels, then obviously it's not going to be a good thing. But we're seeing $23 million worth of volume. You can see here the total supply, 97 billion, max supply of 100 billion, while still seeing 29 billion as the circulating supply. Again, this is what bothers people, right? We got all the way up to a level of 21 cents in 2024, at the end of 2024. That's not the highest point that we've ever received or seen this at, but this was a $5.7 billion market cap. It should be worth way more than that with how big Crypto.com is and how much they are looking to implement things. Like I said in this video, or earlier in the video, is that a business will do something to support what they have as future plans. And I think that's the one big selling point for me that tells me that they're serious about the success of Crypto.com, the success of CRO, and that would be by their 2025 roadmap. So if you go through on their website, you're going to see their roadmap. They have it all broken down. But you have the different things that they're looking to launch, right? This was in 2024. Obviously, going to 2025, things that were launched. Level Up in 2024 was launched. You had the web app. You had, Crypto Basket. You had Kronos AI dev tools. You had exchange expansion that in 2025, Q1 2025, rewards on Bitcoin. Fiat on and off ramp expansion to different countries. You can see there institutional custody. You have stock and ETF trading, sports contract trading, personal multi currency accounts. Debit card expansion to Latin America and Middle East, but then you have the credit cards that are going to be launched. The point about that I'm trying to make here is that eventually they'll get to a Kronos ETF submission. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that they're looking to do so much. And a lot of times, a lot of these expansions and things that you're doing cost money. And I think with this, it does supply the opportunity to do that. It does supply the opportunity to give you all the things to level up. And now open up the doors or open up the floodgates for people to get invested and be involved in CRO and obviously have CRO be a major effect or be affected by those things that are being launched. So with all of the new things that they're looking to do, it makes sense that they could do that. Now, I'm not justifying adding all of the supply. I don't want to see that happen, right? Adding all of the supply makes it very difficult for you to get to a level of $3. So can it get to a level of $3? Well, all of this, these coins are being added to the overall supply over time. It's not going to happen right away. So knowing that you have time while altcoin season hasn't happened yet and seeing the success of CRO, it's probably going to happen. You're going to see a lot of it, not like 50% of it or anything, but a decent amount. When altcoin season reaches its peak, it makes sense for them to offer and sell it and make themselves money from that to then further the expansions that they need. So I do expect CRO to hit higher levels. I do expect it to, be at a 40 billion coin supply, meaning that it has the ability to get to the level of $1, the level of $2, the level of $3. Doesn't mean that it 100% will get there. Seeing CRO at $100+ billion market cap, I think that is a possibility, right? Strong possibility. But for my investment's sake, I'm looking for the level of the more specific levels of $1 to $2, right? Between those levels, rather than looking at a $40 billion market cap for $1, $80 billion market cap for the next, and then a $120 billion market cap for a $3 mark. So kind of saying that while you're looking at that, I will have some that's left for that $3 mark, but I'm looking closer to the $1 to $2 mark as majority of my cryptocurrency, will be either sold that's there, but then some will be held for the long-term expansions of what they are doing, right? Getting paid for holding CRO, right? Staking your CRO, having that involved in the Level Up program or the debit cards or anything like that. So I will have some left on the table for those situations, but $3 is not out of the question. If we can see altcoin season happen sooner rather than later, $3 is not out of the question. A $90 billion market cap, not completely out of the question. 120 or $150 billion market cap, it starts to get a little bit more iffy unless they can become an S-tier exchange just like a Coinbase. So that's my opinion. I'm not saying that things are over. I'm not saying that I'm giving up on CRO. I still have my 400,000 CRO, and I'm still investing $10 per day in CRO because it still has a lot of potential to run to not only a 10x, but a 20x and potentially a 30x. So for that short-term play, I can make so much money out of that just seeing it get to the lower half or the lower level of that, of $1. So is $3 out of the question? No, it's not. It's still there. It's still a possibility. Obviously, still looking for lower levels as an exit plan, but those peak levels will provide so much more in the end. As so long we see all these things launch and be majorly successful like we think they can be. But guys, let me know what you think about CRO. Do you believe that it's over and you're accepting way less, or do you feel like it still has that level of success to reach a $200 billion market cap, a $300 billion market cap? Let me know in the comment section below. But I'm going to get out of here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.